All right, here we are today with Brett Manero of Catholic Charities. Brett, thank you for taking the time to um, join us today so we can learn more about Catholic Charities and your work over there.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me, Patrick.
Of course. I think some of the backstory here for us is, and the reason it was just a natural connection to reach out to you. We've had so many parishioners and we've been blessed to have such a great parish, but parishioners reach out to us during this time of COVID and ask us how they could support, what can they do? And obviously with COVID, we found ourselves in a position of limited to no mass, and therefore we don't necessarily need a lot of help. But it became pretty evident as far as, there's a lot of needs out there outside of our parish alone. So if you could give me a kind of a brief little introduction to what you do and also what Catholic Charities is involved with.
Absolutely. So my name is Brett Manero. I've been working at Catholic Charities of Denver for about a year and a half now. My job title is Parish and Community Relations Specialist. So basically my job is to work with all the parishes in the Archdiocese of Denver throughout Northern Colorado to build a relationship between Catholic Charities and the parishes, to recruit volunteers. I also have what I call the ambassador program. So basically ambassadors are just our contacts, our liaisons in different parishes to work with the pastors, to recruit volunteers there, and also to share our resources with all the parishes. So in a nutshell, that's pretty much what I do at Catholic Charities.
Wow. And how did you get involved in that? Because I know you were at St. Thomas More before, but it's a pretty interesting jump.
Yeah, it was quite a change because I was working in religious ed at St. Thomas More, and I also still do some religious ed stuff. I also teach part-time at the Denver Catholic Biblical School, and I'll be leading RCIA at the cathedrals. So I still have my foot in that door, so to speak. But I think it was just one of those Holy Spirit things where this job opportunity, Catholic Charities, just came along. It was actually a coworker at St. Thomas More who saw it and said, you might be interested in that. You might be good at that, with networking, just meeting lots of people, that kind of thing. And so I applied and it all just kind of fell into place. And it really felt like the Lord was calling me to this job. And it was bittersweet to leave St. Thomas More. It was very bittersweet, but it's been really good. It's definitely been worth it to be here. It's been a lot of fun.
And outside of having that networking ability, what was it about Catholic Charities, for those that may not know a lot about it, what was it about Catholic Charities that spoke to you from their mission and what their objective is?
Yeah, I think it was the team here at Catholic Charities I was really impressed with. Really great people. It's like a small family here. And also I think just how genuinely Catholic Charities is. I was really impressed in the interview process. They asked me questions about just my personal beliefs. And not everyone who works at Catholic Charities is Catholic. You don't have to be Catholic to work here or to be served by us. But they did ask me questions about okay, well, you are Catholic, and are you Orthodox? Do you really believe in the teachings of the Church? We'll never do certain things, like we'll never refer people to abortions, that kind of thing. I was very impressed with how in line with the teachings of the Church Catholic Charities of Denver is, and that was something that really attracted me quite a bit.
Wow, that's awesome. So if you can help everyone understand the work of Catholic Charities and their mission. Obviously, I know they were, correct me if I'm wrong, but founded, quote unquote, by lay people that found a passion in this. But what is it that they do day in and day out?
Yeah, so basically our mission is to serve the people of the Archdiocese of Denver who are in need as Christ commanded us to. We have many different ministries. Like, for example, we have homeless shelters. We have Samaritan House in downtown Denver, which is our main homeless shelter. And then we also have the Family Floor at Samaritan House, which basically helps families go from homelessness to transitional housing to permanent housing. We have Marisol Homes, which is basically a homeless shelter for single women, single moms, I should say, who are pregnant and or have children who are born, to help them get from the streets to permanent housing. And then we have Marisol Health, which is basically like our pro-life wing of Catholic Charities. And what they do is basically serve women of any faith background in crisis pregnancies, help them to keep their babies, to choose life, help them to get the medical care that they need. We also have Little Flower Pantry, which is basically an emergency food service, which gives out food several days a week to families in need. We also have St. Rachel Counseling, which is our counseling center at Catholic Charities, which can basically just provide psychological help from a Catholic perspective from anyone who could really need it. So those are some of our core ministries at Catholic Charities, but we have quite a few, which is pretty awesome.
Wow. And then is Catholic Charities, I guess, funded by and or like, is it a part of the Archdiocese, or is it its own separate entity with help?
Yeah, great question. So every diocese has its own Catholic Charities, and so we are attached to the Archdiocese of Denver. So in many ways, we operate independently from the Archdiocese, but we're also under the umbrella of the Archdiocese of Denver. We're very close with Archbishop Aquila, who helps us out a lot, and so we are very much tied to the Archdiocese of Denver for sure.
Got it. And if people, are there opportunities for people to come help support in any of the, I mean, you labeled so many amazing causes there, which even I didn't know that they all fell under Catholic Charities umbrella, some big name stuff there. If somebody from the parish did want to help, and whether that's financially and or volunteering at the homeless shelter or any of the above, is that an option for them to reach out to you guys?
Absolutely. Yeah, we are always in need of volunteers. I mean, we couldn't do what we do without the help of volunteers.
Okay.
So they're always more than welcome to reach out to me or my colleague Mark Hahn, who oversees volunteers, about volunteering. I mean, obviously, financial donations are always welcome and always needed, but really, like on the ground, boots on the ground volunteering is really what we need so much all the time, especially in all the COVID stuff going on.
I was just going to ask that. How has COVID impacted you guys? Have you seen a big surge from the demand of what you guys do?
Yeah, great question. So certainly, like especially at like Little Flower Pantry, we've seen a big uptick in families going there for food because unfortunately the economy has taken a big hit. A lot of folks, especially folks like who work in the restaurant industry, have been let go, and so they've been needing help just with food donations. So Little Flower has seen a big uptick. A Gabriel House, which gives out diapers and bottles and all sorts of stuff for babies, for families who have little ones. They definitely need help, material support with like diaper donations, that kind of thing. And also we've opened up our emergency overnight shelter at the Denver Coliseum. And so we're basically there serving 3 meals a day, 7 days a week. And we actually need volunteers, especially we need volunteers to help oversee the lunch shifts on weekends. That's a big one. So that's probably our biggest immediate need right now.
And we were talking about that internally, but that was a big success story for you guys, right? At the Denver Coliseum. That's, I mean, that was huge, amazing accomplishment that you guys, one, pulled together, but two, were asked. Any details as far as how that all transpired?
Yeah.
That's a big deal.
Yeah, so basically the Denver Coliseum, we've teamed up with the city of Denver and also the Gathering Place, which is another shelter in Denver. So basically we started about 6 or 7 weeks ago there. We have an emergency overnight shelter for women at our main office on Smith Road in Northeast Denver. But we moved that over to the Coliseum basically because we can fit more people there. We can fit 300 beds in there, so we can fit 300 women in there. We can give them 3 meals a day. And we're basically just doing that kind of indefinitely until hopefully the COVID crisis subsides. I think as of now, it's probably at least till the end of June that we're planning on doing that. And so it's been crazy, but it's been a huge success story to see how many women we've been able to serve, and how many volunteers we got. Just seeing the generosity of people has been really, really an awesome thing.
So cool.
Yeah.
What about in the case, and I think we see it a lot of times as being on the church staff, but you do see underprivileged or people that may or may not be homeless coming here to the parish and the parishes around, and or asking parishioners for help and support financially and that kind of stuff. But what's the best route to advise people to actually reach out to you guys, Catholic Charities, that may be homeless or really, in a time of need, any recommendations on getting that word out there as well?
Yeah. So for people who are experiencing homelessness, basically go to the Denver Coliseum, or they can reach out directly to me and my team, and we'd be happy to plug them into the Coliseum or to Samaritan House, or Marisol Homes, depending what their needs are. You know, like if they have small children, um, plugging them into Marisol Homes might be the best option, or the family floor at Samaritan House. So probably reaching out directly to my team will probably be the best first step, and then we can assess what their immediate needs are, and then just go from there for sure.
So good. And we'll be able to provide all of your links for all your information, all that kind of stuff too,
Sure.
so people know how to get a hold of you guys, because the work you do is absolutely amazing, and it's tough, it's heart-wrenching, and also so fulfilling at the same time.
Yeah, it's tough. Like it's a great point. Like you know, I've been going to the Coliseum pretty much 6 days a week, and yeah, it's emotional because seeing these ladies who are suffering from a lot. They have rough backgrounds. They've been on the streets. A lot of them clearly, you know, have psychological problems and emotional problems. But there's something really just beautiful and just simply beautiful about serving them a meal, you know, and how how much they appreciate that, you know. And really is, as Christ said, like in the Gospel of Matthew, talks about the sheep and the goats, you know. The sheep were the ones who served people who were hungry, who were naked, who were in prison, who were starving. Those are the ones who inherited eternal life. And you know, as challenging as it can be, because one of the things that you don't always get appreciation for it, you know, not all the ladies are even for it, but the fact that they're just human and they have human dignity, you know, they're a living person, and that Christ wants us to do this is beautiful, and it makes it very satisfying. And it's also pro-life too. You know, pro-life work is trying to save the babies who are unborn, but it's also this too, serving the folks who are grown up and who are homeless, who are adults, and who just need simple things like a meal. So it's very pro-life, and it's challenging and emotional at times, but it's very beautiful and very satisfying for sure.
Wow, that's a great point, Amy. You know, typically you associate pro-life with unborn children and all of
Mm-hmm.
that, and hearing your perspective on that, that's
Mm-hmm.
pretty powerful stuff too, that I definitely don't think about as often. And again, to, I guess, reiterate, because I know you mentioned it, but I think it's a huge point, but being named Catholic Charities doesn't mean you have to be Catholic, right? It's
Right.
an evangelization tool, but it's for anybody and everybody.
Mm-hmm. Anybody and everybody. Yep. We don't ask you what your faith background is. You can come from any faith background, have any religious beliefs, but everyone is welcome to be served by us. Absolutely.
Wow, so cool. And then what do you think the plans will be after June, assuming, you know, COVID, hopefully, knock on wood, gets under wraps, but with in regards to the Denver Coliseum or any kind of long-term vision with that stuff moving forward?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that's a great question. I think we are definitely planning to be there at least through the end of June, and probably be extended to the end of July at least, because the Denver Coliseum, they're not having any shows there or anything, so we might as well just remain there for the time being. But as this crisis continues, we'll probably be there. My estimation is probably for the next few months, we'll be there at the Coliseum, until everything just kind of calms down, and then we can have a more long-term plan. So we will be there for a while, serving the folks there for a while.
Wow. Okay. And again, I think last question, if people want to reach out, is it a matter of just trying to, and they want to support, whether financially and or with their time and energy, all that kind of stuff, reaching out to you and your team and finding out where and how and all those details?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so they're welcome to go to our website. Just go to Catholic Charities Denver website, go to the volunteer section, and they'll see a list of all the needs we have, like a Samaritan House at the Coliseum. Or they're also more than welcome just to reach out to me personally. They can call me or email me, and then just tell me what their interests are. And I'll be more than happy to let them know what their needs are and get them plugged in.
Awesome. Brett, seriously, thank you so much for all that you do. Hopefully we could send a ton of volunteers your way, and some of the parish staff and all the above, but also being able to use you guys as a resource when in doubt, and not being able to provide the instant gratification for somebody that is homeless or underprivileged or any of that kind of stuff. So seriously, thank you for everything. Thank you for your time today, and we'll be in contact soon.
Awesome. Thanks, Patrick. Have a great day.
Thank you. You too.